Let me ask you one very simple question. Why do you like creating? Depending on who you are, the answer may vary. I make a living creating. It's something I'm good at. I've poured so much of myself into being as good as possible at my craft. It brings me fulfillment. One answer I used to always give to this question was, because it makes me happy. Having fun while doing it. In recent times, I've found myself believing or relating to that sentiment less and less. So, when did I stop drawing out of enjoyment, out of purely wanting to draw? Majority of my high school years, I've been focused on one thing: drawing as much as possible, improving upon fundamentals, art principles, and stylization in hopes of being accepted into an animation program. Drawing so I can go to an art school and learn to eventually animate. I was drawing with the mindset of future me looking back at my drawings, whether it was for the purpose of an art portfolio piece or to be posted onto social media. Without even realizing it, I had lost sight of why I loved drawing in the first place. Drawing because I thought it was fun. Doing it to make myself happy. Not trying to prove myself or perform for any kind of audience. I finished a sketchbook not long ago, and I really surprised myself because I actually had fun. Looking back at May and seeing all of the things I drew, I couldn't help but smile. Feeling, well, satisfied. A feeling I had basically forgotten. In my previous sketchbooks and illustrations in general, I had a strong grip of anxiety tainting my experience with every single page, thinking ahead to my finished quote-unquote product, trying to ensure myself that I was improving, and the possibility of it being included as a portfolio piece, fundamental piece, or a piece that would be critical to my artistic identity. So, how did this mindset of mine seemingly just change all on its own? I had one simple thought. What would I have fun drawing? Incredibly simple, maybe a bit obvious, but also, mind-shattering, groundbreaking. That one simple mentality shift makes art fun? Holy moly! Art is a journey. And personally, I have found more fulfillment in the journey and not the destination. I was watching an art history documentary the other day, and it focused primarily on the artwork of Pablo Picasso. Y'all know him, he's kind of a big deal. And at the end of the documentary, it showcased his final paintings that he created when he was in his late 80s. I can't find the exact quote, but I remember it said something like this: "As a boy, I learned to paint like an artist. As an old man, I've learned how to paint like a child." The person I was watching the documentary with was really taken back by this statement, remarking, "How could he make such ugly art? He's Picasso, and these paintings are so ugly, a total eyesore." And then I was taken aback by what they said, because, say it with me, that is not the point. One more time for the kids in the back. That is not the point! Picasso was reconnecting with his childlike self, finally painting for the fun of it, and to enjoy himself, to make himself happy, and not to please an audience or bend his creation process to other people's expectations for him. This kind of sent me on a little bit of a mental spiral. Because this made me think, shouldn't this always be the why behind us creating? Wanting to enjoy ourselves, be happy, and express that through an artistic medium? Art is fun, dang it, and we should let it be fun. Is art created to be consumed by an audience, to please or meet expectations of others? Or is it created from the passion and love of a creative? Using art as a vessel for personal expression, meaning, creativity, and fulfillment. If the artist is happy, the art has done exactly what it's meant to do. Art is human expression, And that's what enriches our human experience. And in my opinion, that's what makes art art. And another reason as to why I don't think AI, in quotations, art, will ever be art. It is not art. It is rather an insult to the meaning of art itself. I guess to make a long-winded point short, create. Create because you love it, because you enjoy it, and you crave expression and creativity. If that's what's in the front of your mind, suddenly you might love art again. Like I kind of have. This summer, my goal is to draw as much as possible, as I am preparing myself for my very first year as an animation student. Yippee! I am oh so incredibly nervous because I will be drawing more than I ever have in my whole life. But through this summer and the time I have now between preparing to go to art school and before I get there, I want to just prepare myself to work on things like drawing consistently every single day. Doesn't have to be impressive, but just drawing every day. Doing figure studies, life drawing, eventually working up to things like turnarounds and concept art and, shape language, color theory. All of those things I will be learning in depth. But I kind of want to dip my toes in the water so that when I go to art school, it's not like I'm diving into the deep end, but rather doing something I'm more comfortable with and can adjust to more easily. So yeah, as you've seen throughout the video, I am drawing in my sketchbook again. This sketchbook honestly has taken a long time because I filled out 2 other sketchbooks while in the process of working on this sketchbook. But it kind of feels nice to return to it again. And I've mentioned it, but it's kind of been a while since I worked in it, so it feels like in a way I'm returning to an old friend, which I think is a much healthier mindset than I might otherwise would have had towards going back to an old sketchbook. But I love to see myself grow and change and learn. And really this past year, I think my relationship with art has kind of been, I've been working on healing it and treating it again as something that I have the privilege of doing. Art itself is so beautiful and it's a privilege for me to get to create. It's my passion, so I shouldn't let it feel like it's anything else. And I want to keep that in the front of my mind while I'm at art school because I know that the days in the animation labs will be long and I will be tired, but I need to remind myself that drawing and eventually making cartoons is fun. And I think a lot of artists or art students can relate to the feeling of art no longer feeling fun once it's turned into something educational or for your work. But to me, I think I'll always love it as long as I keep telling myself, this is fun, and I get to do this. So, yeah. Hello, editing ShareCat here. I have a little bit of an adventure today. My car broke down, so I am stranded in a parking lot. I already went to PetSmart, and I went and I saw the kitties, so now I think I'm just gonna draw at some point on this excursion because I want to, and I want to life draw, and while I'm stranded and waiting for help to fix my car, might as well draw, am I right? Because I want to. It finally feels like summer, I'll cut to the next clip whenever I get the chance to draw something. I'm actually gonna pop into Ross real quick, but after that I will draw. Yippee! Also, don't worry, by the time this video is out, my car is probably fine. Anyways.